JAFM News, local, regional, and international news stories. It's your newscast of choice. Gospel J.
Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Village Radio talk show. Joined with me, our co-hostess for the evening in studio, Dr. Joanne Bryant. So looking forward to hearing from each and every one of you this afternoon and hearing from our guests. So welcome to the Village Radio talk show.
Good evening, everyone.
I can't hear you. Go ahead.
Come on to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. Come on to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. Give praises to Jehovah, from whom all blessing and knowledge will flow. Blessing and knowledge will flow. The Village Talk Show, dedicating to empowering the community to live a healthy, safe, and financially capable life, helping each one of us in realizing our dream at any age, any point, starting from today, day. Success. Come on to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. Come on to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. Success is not spoken, it is done. Success is done. Come on now. The Village Talk Show. Talk Show. The Village Talk Show.
So good evening again and welcome to the Village Radio Talk Show. You can hear us on all media outlets. Gospel JA, you can hear us from 92.1 FM, our local station, on Facebook at Roderick F. Daly, John L. Sampson, Dr. Joanne Bryant on our Facebook page. But most importantly, we want you to type in and be part of our YouTube channel, which is the Village Radio Talk Show. Again, I'm actually going to pull it up today. I'm going to see where we are with subscribers. I'm hoping that you're one of them listening in. I'm actually going to pull it up right now and talk to you. So please do get involved. For the first hour, like we did a couple weeks ago, and we loved it, is we're going to do some of the freestyle component. And then our guest is scheduled to come on at 8:15 to talk about mental health. So for the first hour and change is all about our listeners out there. So with a couple of topics coming up, so I want you to call in on each topic. So first of all, welcome Dr. Joanne Bryant to our studio. How you doing, my little Juju? I love saying that because it gets under her when they say Juju. Yes,
Good evening,
Juju.
all listeners. How are you this evening? I hope you are enjoying this wonderful weather because I am. Surely I needed some heat back. Good evening, Mr. Daly.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit, Juju. Tell us about how your few weeks of school. How has it going? And don't be beating me up. All right. The people can see that you're beating me up. Don't. Right. Okay, Juju. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, when you call in, please free to say Dr. Juju. Okay, Dr. Juju. Okay, make sure let's practice that. Dr. Juju. Okay, Dr. Juju. Ça va? Comment ça va aujourd'hui? Well, please don't be insulting me in Creole. All right, because there are people out there in Creole land who knows exactly what you're saying. I'm gonna tell your mama too what you're saying.
It's all right. My mom's watching,
Okay, all right.
and she's gonna say the same thing,
Uh,
that you are a pain.
Okay, well, your mama is definitely not gonna say that because Mrs. Pierre loves me. She loves me more than she loves you. All right, so she ain't gonna say that. All right, so we are up to, what is this, Andre? We're up to 196 subscribers. Right, we're trying to hit 1,000 by December.
Mm.
Right, so our goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers by December, and hopefully, you think we can hit that mark, Andre? How we can do that? Right, we're gonna market it. All right, 1,000. That he's such a cop out. He said he was never interested in politics, but
as long as we follow our plans,
right,
as long as the hosts follow their plans, as long as the host and the hostess host.
I guess he's throwing shades at me. So Dr. Bryant, we have been very neglectful in doing our scripture verse, and we haven't done it in a couple of months, right? So today we're going to do Dr. Bryant is going to take the lead, and she's going to take the lead on our scripture verse, because I feel Roderick Daly, Rudy, feel so blessed today. And I just feel like we need to go back to our roots and our startup. Go ahead.
All right. Psalm 121. I lift up my eyes to the hill. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, of course, the maker of heaven and earth. He will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord watches over you. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. Amen.
Amen, sister. Amen, Dr. Bryant. It's funny, I've been having these conversations, these biblical conversations lately. And, I am so blessed. I'm so thankful for the Lord, Jesus Christ, the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, for their work on me. And it's funny because I'm in a group, and it's interesting that you're in a group where it's a professional group, but sometimes it's not a professional group, it's a social group.
Okay.
And
dominoes.
Yeah, and so everybody's not a believer, right? And so I was saying to somebody that in the group, because I wrote it out today because I said I would attend something next week, Tuesday, God's willing. And the person responded back, and I'm like, well, you know what? We're not going to have that conversation, right? Because at the end of the day, I know what God has done for me.
Absolutely.
And where he has taken me in from, and where I am. And you are not going to dissuade me from my belief in the Lord God Almighty and his works. And and verse 8 says the Lord will watch over you, over your coming and your going, both now and forever. And one of the things that I talk about a lot is his covenant, his covenant with me, right? So the constant protection of me from the crown of my head to the sole of my feet. And a lot of people need to get back to the point where they understand that God is covering them even when they think he's not, or when you're not thankful thereof. Because sometimes when you get out of some things that you're into, right, it's not by happenstance that has happened, but by just sheer the work of God. And it's not, sometimes I was also in this conversation with somebody, and the conversation goes like this. Sometimes people have the erroneous belief that when you pray to God, miraculously the windows of heaven will open up and boom, God drops down the answer to your prayer out there. God answers your prayers in mysterious ways.
Mhm.
And so it could come from the mouth of a baby. It could come from your dog, the dog that you thought you were always allergic to coming up, and all of a sudden rubbing against you, and you realize that your allergy is not the dog, but it's something else. Right. So you need to now research. So you have to, so people sometimes believe, oh my God, I pray and no. I pray and $10,000 will come to my foot, right? Because I need $10,000. No, well, $10,000 might come because now somebody just offered you a new job, right? And that job pays you $10,000-$15,000 more, or that gives you an opportunity, something different, or you need $10,000 and you get a call from the bank that says that you need to bring in a couple documents to do that, or somebody says to you, I am willing to co-sign with you for your mortgage. That's an answer to your prayer. You might say, oh, I don't want Juju to co-sign with me. So then you have now lost your blessings. And it's just interesting conversation. So that's that, right? You know what I forgot to do? And also I want to, that really gives me an opportunity to segue into what happened in Florida. Fort Myers, Western Florida. It is a disaster.
It is.
And
this goes back to you know how you said God watches over you? I will never forget, I used to live in Fort Myers. I taught in Fort Myers, and what made me move back to New York is when I almost died in a car crash. And the very next day I was like, okay, Lord, that's my sign. Like you said, sign comes in different ways. It was my sign when the car that I rented out, tires exploded on the highway in between two trucks. So that was my sign. Get yourself out of there. Literally less than a month later, hurricane hit, they got flooded out.
Okay.
And where I was staying, completely wiped out. So it is unfortunate that this happened again, but this time, the way that it happened, I kind of blame the politicians not notifying people in advance. Yes, they don't know. Um, Hurricanes and weathers can change at any given point, but notify your elderly people. Hey, you know what? You need to leave. Leave and escape or whatever, instead of waiting the day of or the day before, because there's no plan in place. So I feel bad for them. You know, it looks, you would never think that it looked like a place that was nice and airy. And just a couple of months ago, if you try to get a room down in Fort Myers, it was almost booked out. And now to see it as rubble, it's like, wow, the power of water is no joke.
I kind of wish we're able to speak to somebody who is
who
lives there.
I can't reach them. Remember my girlfriend whose niece got into the WNBA a couple months ago? No contact, nothing. Their electricity, everything is still down. Not praying that she is able to get through with her family.
I'm hoping that that everybody's okay with it. Earlier this week when I got back, I realized that about 8. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, please remember, it's an opportunity for everyone to chime in. Call us at 718-841-9980. Bring us in, making sure the lines are on, right? Making sure the lines are on for that. The opportunity for, is that what is that?
Sure. I think it might be.
I'm not sure.
Sure.
I hear you. My Facebook is on. Let's see.
Can you check?
Check what? What am I checking? Huh? No, it's that's you. Um. Oh, that's you. Oh, okay, okay. I didn't know. Hey, big man, what's going on? How you doing? I was on another screen. What's up? What's up? What's up tomorrow? How you doing? Huh? You're not gonna speak? Huh? John.
Oh, what you talking about, man?
Juju was saying that John is tomorrow.
Who are you talking about?
John.
Who said that?
Yeah, Juju.
Juju?
Yeah,
tomorrow?
John is tomorrow.
Tomorrow is tomorrow.
You got jokes, Roger. Let me tell you something. Keep playing.
Right? Yo,
Keep
do
playing.
not. Yo,
Keep
I am fragile
I
and
do
frail.
not care,
right?
But you know what?
Yo, look at this.
playing.
Yo, John, look at that. Yo, I am getting
I see.
dumped up in the
I
studio.
see.
So you know there might be.
Let me tell you.
Here's what I
ladies and gentlemen,
learned.
You talk a lot of garbage, and I don't like people.
Yo,
talking
hold
garbage
on,
me.
John. What I found out, right? When
Uh-huh.
people get defensive about certain things, they're like, there's some truth to it. That's what I found out. Because if there's no truth to it, they would just ignore it, right?
Let me know about tomorrow, please.
Kumbaya.
Oh, shit.
Tomorrow, I just need to know. Like,
Word, man.
look, John is all game. If if he's here tomorrow, I ain't got nothing.
Tomorrow. Love you. Tomorrow.
Wait. Well, hold on. Wait. John, why am I getting the dirty looks and you're the one singing?
Yeah. You know how the doc is. The doc's in the studio too. She jingle your ass.
You came to take your place, man. Take care tomorrow. Make sure tomorrow, all right. Yeah. So what's going on? How you doing?
I'm blessed, man. How was your trip to Dubai?
Oh man, Dubai. Yo, I'm gonna see if I could send some pictures to Andre that he could put up on screen. So show you. Let me tell you something. So I know we jump around a little bit, but I want to talk out to my sisters and brothers out there,
including tomorrow and Juju, right? I was talking to somebody, right? And we're having this conversation, and people, yo, you can afford to go to Dubai. It's so expensive. And then I told them what I paid. And they were like, you paid what? Ladies and gentlemen, call us in 718-841-9980. Let us know if there's some things out there that you like, even like when you told somebody you did it and they were like, wow, I thought it would be this much. It cost me $2,200 to go to Dubai for 8 days, non-stop flight to Dubai, including breakfast. Right now, I did some adding. You mean that's airfare and airfare
and hotel for myself and my wife. Right. So if you're listening, I went to Dubai. So now, if you start adding in some things,
you flew coach?
Yeah, I flew coach. But I sat like, okay, so if anybody know anything about planes, I sat on one of the largest planes out there. It was called the Airbus 380. And so it was practically empty, not empty, but it was like 80% full or 70% full going and 85% full coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you're able to, once the seats are empty and you're up in the air, you could move up, period. Right. So once the seats are empty, they close the door, you can just move up to a seat that's further in front of the plane. Okay. All right. So my wife and I, it has a business class, a first class, first row seats, but all of those seats on the bottom are pretty much all the same. But if you sit up in the front, obviously you're closer to the plane, you're closer to whatever when you get off and all those things, right? So to go, we were there overnight, right? We were there overnight. It was an overnight trip. So we left at 11 o'clock in the morning, arrived at 7:30 in the morning in Dubai.
got the car. So here's the deal, right? We got John. We got I don't know if you guys know your cars out there, but we got a Mitsubishi Pajero, right? Which is the same thing in America when you're looking at cars. In Jamaica, you guys know what we're talking about when I said Mitsubishi Pajero. Out here, it's the Mitsubishi truck. It's the big Mitsubishi truck, right? That fits 7 people, but comfortable if you're traveling. You do 5 because you have to put the suitcases in the back for the 5 people. So there were 4 of us in one car, 4 of us in the next. That cost us $400 for the 8 days that we were there. $400, 8 days. We used 1 tank of gas and less than a quarter. So 1 tank and less than a quarter. So gas basically cost us $100 plus $400 for the car. So $500 split up by 4 people. So for transportation for the entire time that we were there was $120. So it cost everybody transportation to and from the airport $125 the whole time. So everywhere we went, we drove. We spent $125. And I think one time we paid something for parking. Right. And then we add little excursions. So if you did the free excursions, you paid nothing. But then we went to Abu Dhabi. So that was a full day trip. We went to the mosque. I'm gonna send Andre some pictures when we get a moment. And then we went to the tallest, the Burj Khalifa. We went to go see the Atlantis. So what they did was we paid $75 per person one day. And what including that $75 was lunch. Right. So we had lunch. And then we had tour around Dubai. Right. And so we see things from an external perspective. Don't do the art gallery thing because it's just a way to buy rug. And so I'm just telling you, they're beautiful rugs though, but I ain't paying that kind of money for nothing. So it didn't matter for them to take me there. So I didn't eat the gold drink. I don't know what the gold drink is. No, I don't know what that is. You got to be on the mic though. You're afraid of the mic. Right. But you and John are very similar with the damn mic. You all lean back in that. That chair's that comfortable. Maybe I need to sit in it. No, I don't want to switch, but both of you sit back. But anyway, so we did the tour. We went to the Burj Khalifa, which again I told you is the tallest building. And then the next day we took like a cruise, right? Took a cruise around the city. Because but the other thing is that the city is pretty much built since the 90s up till now, and they're still doing. That's the big multi-billion-dollar contract. So if you're a builder, investor, construction worker, go to Dubai. Because there is a lot of work for you. And it's easy to get a work visa. Right? So, and then we did that. We did the cruise. We did a tour of the city. We did the Burj Khalifa. We went to Abu Dhabi, went to the mosque, went to the mall. Can you believe this, John? Your boy went to the mall and he spent 17 7 hours at the mall and he still didn't finish. So
who's that?
Your boy Rudy.
Oh.
Your boy Rudy spent 7 hours. I keep saying 17.
The mall is that expensive?
What? Oh my God. I told him I sent you some pictures. And send some videos for you to look at. Hold on.
How's the beach? The sand. I want to talk about
the beach was beautiful.
Yeah, the black.
There was no black sand.
Not that one.
No, there was no black sand.
I'll show you pictures.
There's no black sand.
Okay.
Because if there was a black sand, I would have seen it on the tour. Well, I would have taken me on a tour of Dubai and not show me the one with the black sand. Right? It might have been the lighting. So that was cool. Let me see if I could hold on. Somebody's asking me for the radio link. So let me do that. And then I'll send it to you. I'll send it out. Where's the radio link? Right here. So that was that. But it was good. I'm gonna send some pictures. So how was your week off?
Week off of what? We ain't got no week off. Who you talking about?
You weren't on the air last week, were you?
Oh, we got a week off from the air. No, we do work. Unlike you, go on vacation. We got work to do.
Honestly, it's the first vacation I've been on.
Really?
Really? Every damn time. Excuse me.
Andre,
You somewhere?
Vacation for the year?
Yes, it is actually.
It's actually
You mean
my,
the first vacation for the last quarter of the year?
no, it's actually my first vacation of
Andre,
the
do
year.
you agree with that or not?
I'm trying to think.
Vacation.
Huh?
Define vacation.
That's the point, right? You need to define vacation,
Not all of them were vacations.
right? So the three of you are of the belief that if you step out of your zone
Mhm.
and you travel, you're on vacation. That's not vacation. No,
Relaxation.
no. Vacation is a destination where there is no plan agenda to do something. So if I so
please,
if
Roderick. Did he go to tennis? He went to tennis. He went.
I
to
didn't
the
travel
race.
for
No, no.
tennis.
Where did you go for the race?
That's not okay. My wife follows track. Wait. Let's hold
So
on.
what happened to Domino's? What happened to Domino's tournament?
Domino's is not vacation.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Domino's cannot be vacation.
It wasn't work.
Okay, wait.
And when you took the kids on vacation, didn't you take the kids somewhere?
That's that was
Orlando.
vacation.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So Domino's.
No. That's because you guys don't do nothing.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
Time away from work devoted to rest or pleasure.
Thank you.
You were getting
All
pleasure.
right, wait.
Yeah,
Hold
when
on.
you play
Wait.
Domino's,
Hold on.
you play
No. I'm in a competitive environment. So you're saying
if
to
you
wait.
win, that's
No,
pleasure.
wait. I have a question for you. Your church is having your pastor is going to Trinidad, right? Because he is going to preach, and you're going to church,
You
right?
started off
Wait,
the year,
wait. I ask you a question. If you're going for 4 days to Trinidad because your pastor has a church engagement and you're going to go to convention, is that vacation?
That's
No, it's
vacation.
not. So when I travel to go play dominoes,
Please, Roger.
Wait, no, let it finish.
when I travel to go play dominoes, I'm going to a competition.
As you say, oh brother, there we
So
go.
I'm not. Wait, again, people out there, if you agree or disagree, let me know.
Let's move right along to the next topic.
But you
You find pleasure in the competition.
Of course
no,
he does.
I mean yes,
Of course.
but that's not the point.
Of course he does.
So the leisure time is if while I'm on vacation,
Oh, my
wait,
goodness.
if while I'm on vacation or I'm traveling, I'm playing dominoes, is different. But if I'm going for a competition, I have an appointed time to be someplace. It's like work.
All right, man. All right. You know, let's get back to.
Thank you. I don't know who Augustus. All right. I don't know who August.
Relaxing.
All right.
No, that's a question they're asking.
Okay. How long did you play domino for when you went away?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, it
So
does
what did
matter.
you do at the other times when you weren't playing domino?
I probably was sleeping. Let me see. One day. No, wait. Hold on. Wait. I'm gonna defend myself here.
Oh boy.
So I had 1 day of vacation while I was at. Wait. Hold on. I had 2 days. of vacation, right? Because I'm the type of person, right? My wife and I are different, and that's why I don't like to go much places with my wife, right?
And I don't blame.
No, I'm gonna explain to you. Wait, I'm gonna explain. So my wife, in general, if she's going to track and field, track and field is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday. She goes Friday. She lands Thursday night. Go to track and field on Friday. Right. Hold on. Right. Yeah. Hold on. She lands on Friday. On Thursday night.
Oh, Empress says it's vacation. Empress.
No, right. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Wait.
It's not real.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Hold on. Again. I go. She lands on Friday, Thursday night. She goes to track and field on Friday. She goes home. She goes to sleep. She wakes up after track and field, eats lunch, go to track and field the next day. Right? And no, the following day, she goes back, she does the same routine. And the following day, she does the same routine. And then Friday, Sunday night, Monday morning, she's on the plane out. Where's the vacation? Wait. When I go play dominoes, like I'm going to Atlanta this weekend for dominoes, right? I'm going on Saturday for dominoes. So Saturday,
I'm okay. I leave chemo. I go to the airport. When I go to the airport, I fly to Atlanta. I go to the venue for Domino's. Domino's lasts from like 8 o'clock to about 6 o'clock in the morning. I get back home. I go to sleep. 6 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 5. I'm there playing. So it depends on how long I last.
So when none of that play domino, say for instance, they want to go for like
Yeah, it depends on how. So they're rounds, right?
all right, let's call it that you finished playing.
The team is there. I'm responsible to be there for the team. So whatever time the team is there, I'm there.
Don't
right?
you find pleasure in it though?
But I find, don't you find pleasure in teaching?
Yes.
So what's the argument?
Wait a minute. Didn't you start off the year partying for your birthday? Away?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So hold on.
Okay, so but when you tell me it's vacation, right? When you tell me it's vacation, I agree with you.
Roderick,
Oh yeah, I've been on
hold on.
vacations.
Let's hold on. You went from what? This is your first vacation to acknowledging that you were on other vacations.
Yes,
That's the point that we're making. So let's continue because
when I went to Serbia, I did spend 1 day.
You have lost, brother. Lost. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophia. Oh,
Moving on.
From
All
January.
right. Oh, let me send these to Andre before he kicks my patootie.
Listen, Roderick is gonna party no matter what. Competition
Well,
is
It's
competition.
like when me and do my art and or something. I do that for pleasure itself. But if I go to competition, I see the point. But say for instance, the domino go from 8 to 6. You go lose, so probably 8 to like 12. You finish. You're out enjoying and pleasure.
But there's nothing. So it's not like wait. It's not like I leave the domino setting, right? I don't leave the domino setting to go do something else. That's
That is
vacation like.
your choice.
Your point.
Let's move on.
Right? But I hate when you do. Let's move on.
Yes, because
We established our point. You said one vacation, which was
Yeah,
fake.
you're right. Where I was wrong, I corrected myself. So I was wrong because Aruba was a vacation.
So
Right?
acknowledge
My
that.
birthday.
That's all. That's all.
And I
we ask.
acknowledge it. And my
Yeah,
kids' vacation, I acknowledge that. And then this right here, though, I would consider this the most of vacation because there was nothing planned.
So
when we go there.
please qualify.
We're just-
Please qualify that.
Right.
Thank you
This
very
was
much.
my most vacation of the 3. Because the kids' vacation is whatever the kids want to do. That's me anyway. When I go on vacation,
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr.
right.
Daly, for
When I go on vacation, 100%.
rectifying the incorrect statement that you made earlier. Thank you, sir. Now, what are we talking about? What's going on in the world of crime?
Yeah, your president is making legal, right? Your president is making legal marijuana, dropping all marijuana cases, simple marijuana cases.
Big up to Biden for that. Big up. That's a big move. Big move.
Right. I think that's nice. I think
they need to stop making marijuana one of those controlled substances, those illegal controlled substances. That's
so.
what they need to do.
Let's ask you a question, John and Joanne. Joanne doesn't.
I
like
ain't
marijuana
smoked weed in a long
anyway,
time. I ain't say light it up yet.
John and Joanne. John, I am in the middle. John is to the left and Joanne is to the right. Right. But when I say to the right, in terms of thinking, right? So the question is, at which capacity of marijuana do you think somebody should go to jail, if any?
When you say, what do you mean by capacity? Could you please break that down for the audience?
Why do you think so? What do you think somebody should be jailed for when it comes to marijuana, if jailed at all?
I think if somebody's engaging in mass distribution of marijuana,
That's it.
no, hold on. Let me think about this because it's very interesting because you can, if marijuana is legal and I engage in mass distribution of it, it's legal.
Thank you, August. Thank you.
Oh, please. We passed that a while ago.
I'm just saying. I
You
just want to make
wanted
sure
to
I
bring
point it
that
out.
back up.
I just want to show
And
that.
you lost your case.
I didn't
Forget
lose my
it.
case.
Oh my
I
gosh.
did not. That's yeah. Anyway, go ahead. You're
What
answering.
about marijuana? And now you're
I
back
just want to
to
say
that.
thank you. I want to acknowledge
I
the fact that
can't.
somebody
You
agrees
know
with me.
what?
Yeah, John.
It depends upon every circumstances is different. I think the mere possession of marijuana, that the personal use, but if we're talking about marijuana in the quantities that could lead to distribution of it, well, if I distribute it and it's legal, so how am I? So I'm not certain. I'm not certain.
Dr. Bryant.
In regards to going to jail,
Yes. What would you say this person should serve time?
as long as they're not smoking underneath my window.
Only tomorrow is allowed to die. Can you just answer the question?
I think overall, if they're selling it to young people, I think they should go to jail automatically, because the thing is, you're setting them up for failure.
What happened to due process? How are we gonna go to jail automatically?
I don't care. See, the thing is, if they were selling it to your young child, you would have a problem with that, right?
But my young child would know enough, would know better
Don't say
enough
that.
not to
I'm
accept
going to
that.
disagree with you, dear John.
No,
People have
my
ways to
young
influence
child would
people.
know that.
See, the thing is, I think
No. I think again, I'm going to defend Dr. Bryant there. You're assuming
Let me
that.
tell you, my put it this way, I wouldn't have to worry about it because my kids are scared of me. So if I tell them we ain't doing that way, it ain't going that
the
way.
guy needs component.
But moving back to that topic, young people, okay, not your child or whatever, any young folks, elementary kids, they're smoking. I'll never forget when I first started teaching, years ago, 20 years ago. I had a student, I'll never forget, Devontae, kindergarten. He was coming in and we were discussing plants and trees and things like that. And I spoke about weed, and he was like, "Oh, you know about weed? How you roll it up and you smoke it?" And I'm like, "What? This kindergarten kid?" But he came in every day smelling like weed. So he was exposed to that. So the fact that this child is in that environment, and can break down what weed is. You roll it up, he's given a whole how-to on weed smoking and how to do it in kindergarten. His parents should go to jail just for that, because in kindergarten at 5 years old, you have no business giving me direction on how to smoke weed or how to roll anything.
So did you smoke the weed and roll it up?
No.
Oh, okay. So you sold it.
I'm just wondering why not. That's my wonder.
Your wonder? Because that's never been an interest for me.
Yeah, all right. Just checking.
I'm not interested in putting anything that's not good for me in my body.
I would say, I would argue,
the only thing that is illegal.
I disagree. I disagree with that, August. I disagree, August, because
prostitution.
No. It's no, that's not true. I disagree, and I tell you why I disagree. If the government was interested in getting a cut of marijuana and the usage of marijuana has been around for centuries, right? And the movement towards legalization of marijuana, it has just come about within the last few years.
Right.
So if the government was interested in getting a cut of marijuana and the uses of drugs, they wouldn't have made it illegal, because something just doesn't become illegal. You make it illegal. You say this is a crime. So if they were interested in that, then that would be the direction in which they're going. I think that the amount of lobbying and the usage of it And the criminalization of so many people has now caused the government to make an about face to say, hey, too many people are having criminal records for marijuana, and we have to revisit that usage. However, they're not revisiting the usage of other major substance like cocaine, like Xantax, like and other ecstasy and other things that could cause harm. And the other thing about marijuana and other drugs is that it actually can cause physical harm to somebody's body. And so the government is basically saying, I'm charging you with something that can cause harm to your body. Now, I hear the argument all the time that marijuana is good for you, but I always ask a person, when do you take medicine? Do you take medicine before or after you're damn sick? So if you're a weed head, you're not sick. So you're taking a substance that has proven to cause injury to your body. Like you take marijuana because you have a pain and you need to make that pain subside. You take marijuana to relax you when you are in a state of anxiety. But if you're taking it, if you're not in a state of anxiety, you're not sick, you're not in any pain, then what happens when you take a drug for your body to prevent something that you don't have? That now causes other issues, and it changes your pupil, it changes your lips, it changes your mood, it changes how quickly you get agitated.
Okay, Dr. Daly, we got
right
you.
So all of those things are factors.
We got you, doctor.
So I mean, I guess a lot of people outweigh.
So we ain't lighting up tonight. That's what you're saying, basically.
And we should.
All right. I'll see you later, Roderick.
You gotta do the cannabis thing. Yo, somebody sent me something today that spoke about the what did they talk about? The cannabis that they're selling in Brooklyn.
Right.
They're selling it in Brooklyn for there's eight grams for $50 somewhere. So the community boards now have to they have to what is it called, John? When you come before the board and give a recommendation for a license, like
come before the committee,
Yeah, come before the Commerce Committee if they're looking forward to having a cannabis license. And while I was on the plane coming back, the airline stewardess was telling me that Thailand is now making marijuana legal.
So the United States always sets the way for everyone.
That's the way, yeah. So that's an opportunity. What else is in the news?
What about the gun license? That now.
Hey, let me tell you something.
Oh wait, hold on. Andre asked me to read this. Man will always abuse things. People take medicine when they are sick. Same argument. I agree, and that's why certain things are illegal. People take NyQuil to go to sleep. That
legalize it.
Take it. That is part of what NyQuil does, though. NyQuil lowers the mind and ease your tension so you can go to sleep.
Brother,
I'm agreeing with it. I'm not agreeing with it. Don't get
so well.
Right. Don't get me don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you should be taking NyQuil. It became illegal if someone wanted to be the only one who profit. That's not true. That's completely not true. Who's the person that wanted to profit from it?
Well, you got the pharmaceutical companies. You have the people who are running those companies.
Again, how is that? So wait. Hold on. That argument is so invalid. Like, let's think before we talk. If the pharmaceutical companies were the ones who wanted to profit from it, then they would make it only legal for pharmaceutical companies to mass produce and sell. They wouldn't make it illegal to produce marijuana except for in extenuous medical situations.
So,
Therefore, that
Mr.
argument,
Daly, Mr.
that
Daly, Mr.
argument is
Daly.
one of the most phallus argument that people can make.
So, Mr. Daly.
Yes.
So, what's the argument for making alcohol legal?
The
It
argument
used
for
to be
making alcohol
illegal.
legal was, again, in alcohol was legal. Then the Christian right.
Alcohol was illegal, not legal. It was illegal.
No, alcohol. Let's know our Constitution, sir. Alcohol was legal, and then approximately 1918 through 1920, they created a constitutional amendment which made it illegal for the distribution of alcohol. And so for those couple of years, that made the rise of the mafia, made the rise of those gangsters and the moonshine component. And so people are still abusing and using
marijuana,
alcohol, as they're doing now with marijuana. It just took them a longer time. And then they went back and they repealed the amendment, the Prohibition Amendment. I think that's what it was called. And they repealed it. Right, I think the 20th amendment is for women's suffrage. So I think it might have been the 19th and 21st amendment. You can look it up. I don't remember the exact numbers.
Brother, but if North Korea had his way, there would be no weed for anybody. They'd probably destroy our country.
Right. And it's not just North Korea, by the way. There are other Asian countries who will chop your head off. Remember a couple of years ago, one of those countries sentenced an American to jail for an extended period of time. I don't remember which country it was. I think like Myanmar or Indonesia or one of them. They sentenced somebody to like almost like life in prison or something.
I still want to say, like, if I make something illegal, that it's right, but I'm telling you all, you cannot use it to make up whatever it is. Chances are the people gonna want to use it?
Yeah, right? I'm not disagreeing with the theory of what you're saying, but what I'm saying, the practice is that the pharmaceutical companies did not produce it for mass usage.
Same thing with nuclear war. The same thing.
Somebody benefits from nuclear warheads.
The same thing,
so
because
there are more drugs that do more harm than are. I think August, and I mean, we don't want to spend too much longer on this topic. We're going to move on to the next topic.
So
but
do you think
I just want to address. I think we all can take a shot at answering just the drugs that do more harm that are legal, right? So from my angle, a drug is used to do something, right? So everybody knows I have cancer, right? So not had. I'm praying to God that it continues at this level or go away. I can't say had because I still have it. I still do chemo every other week and stuff. I understand your point in what you're saying. So when I take the cisplatin, right? The cisplatin, it staves off the growth of the tumor, because my cancer, I should have been gone. Stop doing that.
The cancer should have been gone.
Right? The cancer should have been gone. Right? And so this cisplatin kind of helped to quench the growth of the tumor across my body system. However, right? So I have a choice, right? So the choice is take this cisplatin as part of my treatment, or don't take it and the cancer spreads, and take it and it has some effect on my kidney. So you're right? There are drugs that do more than harm. So then I have a choice. It is destroying my kidney, it is also keeping me alive. Right? You take a Tylenol for a headache and it will let the headache go away. But if you suffer from migraine and you need that, because I don't know if you ever suffer from migraine, I have migraine headaches, but that is a killer. But if you take these things, it can have another effect on another part of the body. What do you do? So you have to make a decision.
Smoke it.
Right? You have to make a decision about what you're going to do. So that's my answer. Just so you're aware. Anybody else? Before we move
Everybody
on.
makes a decision, but thank God, as Dr. Bryant said,
Put on the mic, and we can't hear you.
Oh, can't hear me? Can you hear me now?
Go ahead, Andre. All right. So I want to move on.
No, I mean, answer. I'm saying address this.
There are drugs that do much. You just answered it.
But that's from my perspective. Okay. I mean, you don't have to agree
and
with me.
You know what? That's fine. And we're moving right along.
We don't like right Dr. Bryant because she's very dry and move on.
It's okay. I'll be dry.
I'm gonna call tomorrow. Yeah, go ahead. Moving on.
Tomorrow.
Okay, that was okay. All right. That was me. I'll take credit for that. Go ahead.
So North Korea. Let's talk about North Korea. Do you think we're gonna go to war with North Korea?
No.
Hell no. Kim Jong-un he is not ready to get how do you pronounce it?
Obliterated.
He's not, brother. He ain't ready.
What is it?
Obliterated.
Yes, that's the word. There you go.
Wait. The attack on Japan and the United States.
No, wait. Stop.
They didn't attack.
There was an attack. It was.
Don't be using the word attack.
It was a warning signal to Japan over there that they had to clear out everyone. Was enough for the United States to actually team up to go and come on. Why are we getting involved in this? That's my question.
Involved in what?
Well, here's a question, John. While we at it, North Korea on Tuesday fired a ballistic missile over Japan for the first time in 5 years.
Right.
What happened 5 years ago? Did they go to war?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. That's all I'm saying. I don't even remember.
But guess what?
Yeah.
5 years ago, who was just before, who calmed the storm?
Who?
His boyfriend, Trump.
Oh, Trump? Oh no, it wasn't his boyfriend. It was Dennis Rodman.
Donald 24. Donald 2024. Donald 2024.
It was Dennis Rodman, the head of the Supreme Court. Right?
So, yeah.
I mean, at the head of the Supreme Court. John made me say Supreme Court. Head of the thing. So no, I don't see anything coming about it. I think they're probably gonna come down is more sanctions and more this, and you got to get rid of your firearms and your blah blah blah. Right?
So?
Yeah.
How can we help Florida? I'm going back to Florida. How can we help Florida?
Pray.
Besides praying, we got to do more.
We're gonna pray. We're gonna pray that Ron DeSantis comes to come. Yeah, I was
running.
Wait, hold on. I was listening to his press conference, a part of his press conference on Fox.
Right.
Monday. He was talking about the difference between flood insurance and house insurance, and that there's wind and then there's water, and he kept repeating it, right? And I'm thinking, you're the damn governor of a state where Fort Myers is a very Republican part of your state. And you would think that you would get up and say, whatever the insurance does not cover, we will make a proper investigation to see. No, hold on. I'm thinking that you understand what I'm saying, John? The heart of your voters, you would at least get up and say, we're going to do everything that we can to make you whole.
First of all, they're not going to say that. And second of all, he's backing up Lee County government, which I have a problem with.
I don't know who Lee County is.
Lee County is where Fort Myers is.
Okay.
County. So Lee County governors and all their admin to say that they did it properly. They did not. They did not tell the people to evacuate in time. Because
I agree. But it doesn't matter though, does it?
It does matter because they have a lot of elderly folks.
No, but what I'm saying is I'm not even talking about life insurance. Whether they're there or not, damn how
life insurance. I'm talking about here it is. They're not going to take ownership when they're wrong.
No, but that's what I'm saying though, Joe. What I'm saying is, correct me if I'm wrong. Whether you're there or not, the wind is going to come, the flood is going to come and blow your freaking house down, right? So whether you're in the building, not in the building, right? Andre, look up. right? Right? The whether you're in the building or not in the building, right? It doesn't matter.
Right.
There's going to be flood in your house. The wind is going to blow your roof down. It's
Yep.
going to blow your stuff away. So telling me that you told me to move and not move, what was I going to do? Pick up my house and move it too?
No, but that it means that you have evacuated before the flood.
But again, so what are you evacuating? That's the question that I'm
You,
asking.
your body yourself, because they have a.
So
a
again,
lot
so
of-
isn't that the difference between life and property?
Forget the property that could blow away, but your life is more important than
So-
something that could be rebuilt.
But that's what I'm asking you. What is he arguing?
He's saying that they did the right. They followed all right procedures.
Who's
by
they?
Lee County officials did
Uh-huh.
the right thing by waiting the day before or the day of to tell people to evacuate.
So, but I don't understand. I thought we're okay. So I was confused. I thought we were talking about the fact that he's not taking ownership of the property and the loss of property.
What I'm saying is he's backing his people no matter what. They're wrong, they're right, they're still gonna back it up. You
Well-
understand? They're not gonna admit that a mistake was made. Hey, they should have did this first.
That's a good point,
They're not
August. Yo, August, you're on a roll today. You're on a roll. Why do people choose to live in places where there are seasons dedicated to natural disaster? You know what? I don't know.
It feels great during the summertime. It feels
Fort
great.
Myers is a beautiful place.
It is. When I lived out there, it was fabulous.
Fort Myers, California, with Los Angeles with the earthquakes. What is New York problem? With the cold
Crime.
and the crime in New York. You love living. Why haven't you? I don't know where you live at, but where you live there, I know there are natural disasters. You have to ask yourself that question, right? Or inhumane disasters.
We have no control.
Hey, you know what, Roger? Hold on. I want to talk about this crime that's going on here in the city and the state. You know, I was very touched by that father who, while visiting his child at Marist College, was shot and killed.
I didn't hear about that. I heard about what happened in University of Arizona.
No, that was yesterday. But
Oh,
this a couple of days ago.
he was shot.
Mhm.
Wow.
Went to visit. Two individuals were fighting, homeless, and one of them had a record already. He was wanted for questioning in another homicide. Then you have, the woman who got beat up by this homeless individual like 4:00 in the morning. And,
What about the little boy who got slashed the other day on
Yeah.
Tuesday? Metro.
and what I can say is, what about the gentleman who was riding on the L train, Mr. Bailey?
Yeah.
And you got,
The FDNY.
and the FDNY was horrible.
I heard about that. I heard about that when I came.
Yesterday.
I heard about that when I came back. That she was shot. No, not shot.
She was-
I don't know
she was
about
stabbed.
shot. She was killed. 61 years old. I was actually.
She's about to retire in 6 months.
Yeah. I was killed.
And the point is, one thing people can say what they want to say. Fighting crime is extremely difficult.
Mm-hmm.
It's extremely difficult. This has to not only be a buy-in from our law enforcement, but buy-in from our community. And, mental health is real.
Mm-hmm.
And when we see instances of like that, we need to raise it, and we need to follow up. And because it is real, we know individuals in our community who are suffering with mental illness, but we try to classify it as maybe being attention deficit disorder. We have to do a better job of identifying the problem and the origination of all this crime in our community. A lot of it has to do with poverty. A lot of it is with lack of education. And one thing I can say about the mayor is that they are law enforcement and the mayor, they are really working together, because I look at once these are attacks and these incidents happen, most of these individuals are captured within 24 to 48 hours. You know, and you see the commitment and dedication from these law enforcement officers to really capture these individuals who choose to engage in crime. But it has created such a perception, but it is reality that, you know,
I like that.
people don't want to go out anymore. People are afraid to even say something to someone. If you're bumping them, you step on their shoes, whatever, you're afraid because it can escalate into you losing your life. Mm-hmm. It's like we have no sense of civility in the community anymore.
You're right.
Yeah, you know, John, you know, I'm glad that our guest, who will come on in a few minutes, will be revisiting the conversation around mental health, right? Because it's a real issue, right?
Roger, but you had to see this guy. The woman was 61 years old, coming out of her station to either get something and the way this gentleman engaged this woman, knocked her down, and stabbed this woman repeatedly without any hesitation whatsoever.
John, you know, here's where I blame the mayor, right? Not that he's not doing a good job or trying to do something. Joanne, right? Joanne talks about her fear of the subway.
Right.
Deirdre talks about her fear of subway. As a matter of fact, we're having a conversation about her daughter who was supposed to be going on her way to college, high school.
Mm-hmm.
Joanne is not putting any of her kids through college, and I'm gonna wait. I'm not through college. Sorry,
through college. Dang, Doc, I didn't know that, Doc.
I jumped ahead.
They ain't going to college, huh, Doc?
Right. That's not what I meant to say.
Mm-hmm.
What they're gonna work at? They're gonna work at the
I'm
marijuana.
gonna make a statement.
Hold on. They're gonna work at the marijuana.
The Cannabis Institute. Kumbaya.
Roderick, right? For Roderick, right?
So so getting back to what I was saying, and it's not Joanne that I mean, I know I brought up these two examples, but I'm not talking about them per se, but it's a real issue, right?
Right.
And this is actually the conversation I had with my friend this morning. And I said, you want the best for your children, but you live in a community where the best schools aren't.
Correct.
And in order for you to increase the opportunity or possibility for your child to have the best education, the best opportunity, go into a Stuyvesant. Let's not play the game. Stuyvesant, Brooklyn Tech, the 8
Brooklyn Latin.
The 8 specialized high school, and sprinkled in there, you have about 10 other high schools in New York City, right? That your child can go to, that would essentially know that they will have, not that every high school they won't have a chance, but these 20 or 30 high schools, we already know that they have proven themselves, and colleges are pining away to get these students. However, this school is too far. My kid can't travel. I don't feel safe. But on the flip side, you want the best for your child. But you, in essence, are putting your child in a place where they're not going to, where it's harder. But it's harder, right? It's harder for them to make that sense of accomplishment because of this fear of traveling. I was in Dubai, John.
Right.
And in Dubai, there's zero crime. A woman could walk around and she's not worried about being raped. A woman could take the Dubai metro, she'll feel safe. There are certain there are no weapons. I didn't even see. Honestly, I think I saw 2 cops, right? 2 police officer vehicle passed in front of me, and one of them, I believe, maybe 3, and one of them was on the side of the road for a car accident, right? And there's nothing. So the real issue is not just Eric Adams, but he's the mayor, so he's the top dog in the city. That's why the conversation revolves around him. But why in America there is so much violence in America? Why is violence, and the violence is always so much stronger in our Black communities?
So
Why?
Let's look at today. The judge who actually decided that putting limitation on the gun license is a no-no. That people are allowed to go on the train. They're allowed to go to Times Square. It's allowed to go anywhere.
I agree with him. I agree with him. I agree with him.
It's gonna be the Wild Wild West.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not. It really, you guys, as long as the person, because remember, you're always going to have illegal guns. You're not going to stop illegal guns. You're gonna increase a person's opportunity to save themselves from those people with illegal guns.
I think also.
Wait, hold on. So the other part of that thought is that as long as you follow the law, that's the problem, right? If you follow the law and say you're not allowed to have a firearm if.
But a lot of people follow the law and they had legal guns and they end up being.
But it's less likely. If you look at states, the overall death rates of states who have illegal guns, that have legal guns in legal areas, the death rate is lower. In those states where the death rates are high are generally the areas where guns are illegal. And you know what community that is? Number 1, the Black neighborhood. Because unfortunately, right, a lot of the Black, it's sad, higher percentage wise in Black communities, you have more people who have criminal records, whether it is justifiable or not. So it does make it almost impossible for them to have a gun. And so in those communities, you have a lot of illegal guns. Now you look around and you start looking at the one-on-one cases, not the mass brutality, but the one-on-one cases is Black.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. It's unfortunate, but it's true. So these guns that they're using are illegal. They're not people killing each other in New York City with a legal firearm. It's people with illegal guns. So if you change who has a gun, who has the ability, again, the poor woman who got killed, right? A fire chief, FDNY, she didn't have a gun. She was stabbed. My friend who lost his mother last week, he's trying to break up a fight between the 2 roommates. And the guy pulls out a knife and stabs him, and stabbed him twice and killed him.
So stabbing is becoming a new thing.
Well, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, these are not people with legal arms. It's not. So we can't say making the guns legal, right, would cause more Wild Wild West, because it's not the people who have legal guns who are committing the crimes. It's people with illegal guns who are committing the crimes.
Yep.
So we have to think about that.
We do.
Why are you looking at me like that? I'm wrong? Or it makes sense? You need to get your gun. That's what you need to do. Because are you crazy? You're gonna have a mental health check? You're gonna be off? You can't get your gun?
You're the one who have a problem.
Well, you're gonna fire your gun? Yo, John, yeah, you're threatening me. Oh my God, let me tell you a joke. Yeah, let me tell you a joke, and then I go to commercial. Last night. Last night. All right, hold on. No, wait. Last night. Wait, just hold on. It's 2 seconds. Relax. So I'm sitting in my car, right? And I meant to press the light button, turn on the ceiling light, John.
Right.
Right. I meant to press the ceiling light. And so I pressed the panic button in the car. So the car calls back and go, Mr. Daly, I hear the panic button. And I can't answer. It's a mistake. And I can't turn the damn thing off. Yo, and I drove off, went to get some food. I came back, the police was calling me. My wife was
You're a clown like that. You are a clown like that.
Yo, my wife is called, and I left the phone in the car when I went into the restaurant. So I don't know all these people. I came back, there like 15 calls. I swear to goodness, the police called me 7 times. Say it was kind of hilarious. Commercial?
Yes, commercial.
I'm waiting on you.
You can start.
Where's the commercial?
Start. You know what you
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us on the Village Radio Talk Show as we discuss what's going on in current affairs. Now we're talking about a few things that might be of great interest. So we're just asking you to look at the Single Parent University, which has opens enrichment admissions, course curriculum, personal development, mindful parenting, super support seminar, financial management, nutrition and wellness, free childcare session, transportation, social service, support hub, resume and cover letter writing, career exploration, and legal assistance. Please, each and every one of you, please reach out to the Single Parent University at 646-779-6767 or text this SPU for Single Parent University at 71441. Again, the Single Parent University, please get your help. Please get the help that you need. Sometimes you get some help, answer some of your questions, so this way you get the best thing ready for your child. So our guest is here, Andre. Right? John, where's my drink? I know. So where's mine? I don't have any. Simmone, do me a favor. Lower your camera. We're seeing Lynda. Simmone.
Simmone.
No.
That's right.
Hey.
Simmone. How are you, Simmone?
Madame Simmone. Can you lower it some more? We're still seeing the top.
You know what? I'm gonna I think my chair is low.
Your artwork, we're seeing your artwork behind you.
Okay. Could you see me?
No, we could see you. I'm just saying we're seeing more of your ceiling above your head.
Oh, I can't lower
That's
the
fine.
camera.
There you go. That's
just
good.
Okay.
All right. So welcome to the Village Talk Show. Welcome again.
Hey,
Thank you.
You know I have a writ against you, right? You know that, right?
Ignore him.
So I'm gonna start with that first.
Ignore him.
I'm gonna start with the writ.
Ignore him.
Don't be telling her.
Ignore him.
You can tell her all you want. You think
Ignore him.
Wait. You think you saying that's not gonna
Ignore
make me?
him.
You think that's gonna stop me?
We got beef, Roger?
Yeah, we have some beef. We have some serious
we got beef.
You always have beef with somebody.
I don't have beef with somebody.
What's the
I
beef?
have beef with Juju and Lynda Simmone.
Why you got beef with us?
Right? Because I called Lynda Simmone 10 times.
Oh, no.
And I did not I received one missed call back. I got one missed call back.
No.
Right? I said, you know what?
That sounds personal.
I said, Juju. I tried to call Lynda. All right. I tried to call Lynda and she ghosted me. Right?
Because Juju and I were on the phone together.
Yeah.
And we called you.
Yeah, I know. I said I got one missed call. I acknowledged that I got a missed call from you.
No, not a missed call. You got a couple of
I'm going to ask my wife to check my
phone.
phone.
And messages.
All right. I ain't got no message from you. I ain't getting none. I got, we're both calling you.
See what it is he wants to see. So,
but it's all right. Looking good. Love it. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
It's a new look. I wouldn't, typical black woman. I can't recognize none of y'all when y'all come.
What? That's a stereotype.
When what?
Yeah, you missed the point. I was saying.
Black woman. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
Dr. Bryant and I are talking about. I can't recognize her because she got a new hairdo, and I can't.
It's okay.
Why?
It's all right.
I didn't see something was wrong with it.
I love.
Wait. Hold on, Simmone. Wait, Lynda. Lynda, did I say something was wrong with it?
Yes.
No, I didn't. I said I cannot. I cannot recognize. The beautiful thing of black women. One of the things about black women, you could have 60 million wigs.
Well,
Yeah,
I
Wigs.
don't have any wigs.
Well, no,
Honey,
here.
this is
Oh,
all
wait,
natural,
Oh,
okay?
Okay.
No, wait, guys.
Lord
Wait.
have
All
mercy.
natural.
Stop it.
Here.
Stop it.
Mm-mm.
What is, wait, hold on. Sometimes when you say something that is data full, right? What is one of the highest grossing industry in the Black
Can
community?
you move on?
No, I wasn't saying anything bad though. I wasn't
brother,
saying.
move on, brother.
Why
Brother,
you
move
guys make it
on.
sound like I'm saying something bad? I said,
Because you
why is
were
it bad?
Oh, I might not even recognize. Okay, Lynda, you
No,
look beautiful this
wait,
evening,
Lynda.
and let's
It's
keep
a
it
mental
moving.
health. It's a mental health. It's
Well,
a correct.
I
Wait, hold
think-
on. Wait. I want to ask a question in the studio, right? While we here, because I
Right.
want to be corrected. If I'm saying something wrong, right, telling me to move on is not making me correct whatever mistake I made.
Well, you believe you
Are you listening?
Yes, I'm listening.
Okay. There was a negative undertone.
But I'm saying why?
Why?
Yes.
I mean, I'm not offended by it, but the way that it was said, it could be perceived as though women who have who changes their hair, there's something wrong with that. That's what makes Black women so unique.
Simmone, why don't you just tell them like it is? Basically, what you're saying is Black women don't have their own hair. We got to wear wigs. That's what you're saying.
No, well,
That John said that. I didn't say that.
But that's how you come across.
that's not what I
the
said.
Wigs and things like that. You have multiple wigs. Or what?
yes.
No, but I didn't say that. I said it's a different look.
Yeah,
Right. I said
yeah.
it's a different look. So sometimes, right. I don't think I said it's a different look. Like my students, and I could tell you this right now, where I get this from. That's why I'm saying from whence it came. When we did the program for young Black women, one of the biggest industry that they were interested in doing was hair and cosmetics.
Okay.
So when I will see a Black woman in my family, and they will have a short hair, long hair, weave, braids, and all the different likes. So sometimes you see them and you see a different look. That's where I'm coming from. I don't know where the offense would sound like. You said it was somewhat offensive, but it's a factual thing that hair
negative
product
undertone
is one of the major things within the Black community. It is hair, nails. Right?
So what are you trying to say again?
Yeah,
Mr.
where
Kelly?
are we going with this?
No.
Yeah,
I'm just
where you
saying-
going with
no, I
this?
wasn't going. I wasn't going anywhere with it other than you look different from the last time I saw you. That's all. And I feel like I was on
how it looks.
right.
Thank
And
you.
again, I didn't.
Roderick, for
Yes.
your FYI, it was a blowout because I needed a trim.
Okay,
with
well,
my
I didn't know that.
natural hair.
Well, see, I
No
wouldn't know that,
perm.
right? I wouldn't know. And
right after you
but
said
there's
that,
nothing.
you said wig and this
No,
and
no,
that.
no,
Come
no.
on, man.
No, you. Here's what happened, Lynda. This person to my left took offense to my comment,
As she should.
and right, and then made the comment more than what the comment was meant to be. The comment was just meant to say you look different. That's all the comment was meant to say.
Okay.
You could have said, Simmone, you look smashing today.
And well, I can't say that. My wife will shoot me. So I got to be careful. So how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Andre said he told you look good yesterday. He's like excited.
Thank you, Andre.
Don't worry. He says that every time you're on. Every time he talks to you, he says that.
His
So,
girl will kill him.
Yo, big topic. Big topic. Mental health. Big topic. Important topic. When we have the conversation around mental health, we get a feedback from our audience about how detrimental. As a matter of fact, John let us off. I don't know if you heard some of what he was talking about. And we were talking about the violent crimes that are happening in our city. A lot of these people have shown sign of mental health. So I want to start my first question. Well, let me let Joanne do her question first.
Well, you done? Thank you very much.
Hi,
Thank you for
Juju.
joining us this evening, Lynda. please, please introduce yourself to some of our listeners who actually never heard of you or who actually never tuned in, but you are one of our regulars. So please introduce
Oh, I'm a
yourself.
regular.
Yes, you are.
Well, hello, everyone who's listening. My name is Lynda Simon Taylor. I'm a mental health counselor and also a school counselor. So I've been doing this work for the past 16 years. I'm happy to be on.
Awesome. Awesome. So she could talk about it from two different perspectives. I need to deal with my mental health, dealing with this man to my right because he actually has
And
been
because the
irking
person
me
to my left,
all
because the
night
person to
long.
my left has mental health issues, she wants to
We all
blame
have
it.
mental health
She wants to
issues.
blame it on the person to
We
her right.
all have mental health
So
issues.
my first tough question, right? I'm gonna do a juju. I'm gonna cut her off in the middle of her comment. So no, seriously, my first comment to you. Let's go back to what John and Dr. Bryant and myself we were all talking about in terms of mental health. I want to ask. I think I want to ask it from a backwards perspective. All right, and that is.
What are some telltale signs
There you
that
go.
someone
That
has
is there you
mental
go.
health?
Like when do you, at what age, at what,
That's a great one. Let's
Right.
start with children.
right?
How
What
would we
what
know?
do you what are you looking for as a parent?
So it shows up differently, right? It shows up with their behavior.
Yes, mommy.
Right? It shows up with, especially when they're transitioning, whether it's going up a grade, changing to a different school, you'll see that their reactions are different. There's certain things as simple as, I know autism is not considered a mental health issue, but it is part of that umbrella. But I have a lot of parents who don't know, and I work with high schoolers who don't know that their kids are on the spectrum. Kids who don't make eye contact. Those are things that you should be concerned about. A lot of times people will say, oh, that's just Johnny. He's shy, right? In our community, we're so afraid to point out things that may be wrong with our children.
So I think Andre should write on the screen, avoid saying that's just Johnny and that's just Jane. Am I correct?
Yes.
So that's something which is, so tip number one to parents, avoid making the statement. If you're starting to make the statement,
that's how they act all the time.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that's a good idea. Like we, as our guest gives us some pointers, we put it on the screen so that in case somebody comes back and they're highlighted. So what was that one you just said?
That that's how the child act all the time. It's nothing wrong with them. All the time the parents is in denial. The child is throwing chairs, books, tables over. But no, I'm dealing with them. It's okay. He acts like that all the time.
Right.
Just when he get upset. What?
Right. And the reality is, so in the schools, we'll see behaviors and we'll talk to the parent about the behaviors. And we know the behaviors are happening at home, right? But to admit that these behaviors are happening at home, some parents will admit that. They will say, oh, he does it at home. I usually put him on timeout, or I take away the games. In schools, we don't have those options to, reprimand kids. And we do spend a lot of time with kids. And when you have kids who are suffering with anxiety, kids are exposed to so much more these days than we were when we were growing up. Kids are exposed to adult conversations. Yeah. Sometimes adults engage in conversations with kids.
Wait, I'm sorry. I see, Andre, I'm just telling you, these are good points. Say it again. That is one that pisses me off a lot. That was one of the things that the kids are growing up too fast. Why? Because what the parents do?
They have conversations in front of children or have conversations with children that they shouldn't be having. And children includes minors. That means your 17-year-old, your 16-year-old, you know. Additionally, they spend way more time on their gadgets than they do interacting with their families. You know, family time
I'm guilty of that one.
is practically
Me
non-existent.
too.
You go to the doctor's office, everybody's on there, including the parents, is on their gadgets. So we know from studies that video games causes anxiety and other mental health issues, depression. One of the things that we saw coming back from COVID was all the negative emotions that was being dumped into the schools, right? So kids who were depressed, kids who were angry, right? Because now they spent more time at home in some homes that were dysfunctional.
Right.
So
And some of their parents were dysfunctional too. So unfortunately, you're having a generation of dysfunction continue. So that's a major problem.
yeah, and I think again going back to connecting with your kids. So how do you recognize those signs if you're not having conversations? If you don't know who their friends are, if you don't know what they like, so you can't even say, oh, you know, he stopped doing the things that he enjoyed.
Hmm.
And if the things he enjoyed was only being on his phone and playing video games, that's not a good indicator because that's avoidant behavior, right? You tend to do, even us as adults, right? When we want to be
What
distracted.
age would you say? Is that more like a teenage age or younger than that?
In terms of what? The
Avoidance stage.
Oh,
Like,
that starts early. That
but
starts
when they're teenagers,
real
would you say
early.
that that's also because teenagers don't want to be bothered with their parents or anything like that?
Yeah, but you know what? It's up to the parent to create that environment, right? So you could have your alone time, and then we have family time, right?
Mhm.
And that's the space where we can talk about what's going on at school, what's going on with you. There's parents who don't even know that their kids are being bullied. There's parents who don't even know that their kid hate their school or hate having to walk to school because or taking a different route to school because they get harassed. And we're not having those conversations.
Hmm.
You know, I kind of, I don't always live to it, and it's not enough. But I have this rule um, that I say that with my two young ones, the others I did as well, but not to the large extent because I wasn't home, you know, like that to do that. But it's that 50 minutes a day, right? So I do the 50 minutes a day rule,
Mhm.
which is 50 minutes a day with spending quality time with them. Like I remember last night, I've told the two of them they need to get the hell off the computer.
Mm.
Go, come sit down, come read a book, have your dinner. I gave them dinner, and they had to sit down and read before they went to bed and whatever needed to happen. So that 50 minutes a day to find out what exactly is, and ask them deep questions. My 7-year-old always go, how I would say his mom and I or both would say how was school and go, it was good.
Yeah,
It was
not
good.
enough.
What was good about it? All right. What did you do? Like I just wrote a letter to his principal. I sent her a message that stated, you know, tell me about his teacher because he's in second grade and 8 days he has no homework. He has not handed in homework, and she didn't follow up with a parent in the second grade, right? You know, that kind of conversation with the kid. And today he's getting frustrated with me because I said to him, where's your homework? And he goes, I can't get into Google Classroom.
Mm.
All right. And I'm like, what do you mean by you can't get into Google Class? Because we just got back from vacation.
Mhm.
Right. And so he can't do his homework. So what are you talking about? So that can be, and I could see the anxiety because he knows that I am going to be upset that he hasn't done his work, and his mother is going to be upset. So when you talk about anxiety and those kind of things, I saw that, and the reflection of both trying to please us and please himself, but yet still don't know who to blame for the error.
Yeah.
Now, I have a question in regards to mental health. The parents who notice some signs, do you find that they tend to not say anything because of embarrassment, or to say that,
Yes.
hey, you know what, they might think I'm the problem or whatever,
Mhm.
besides the embarrassment or whatever? And when do they get to the point to say, hey, I need help for my child? Is it during the time that, you know, violence and violence towards adults or violence towards other children?
I want to add part of that question as well. When you think about that question, do you also, can you throw in socioeconomic status into that conversation as well?
Mhm.
Because I think that's part of the conversation as well,
Mhm.
an overarching number.
This is it. It's such a
Layered question.
layered question, right? And there's no one answer. So to I guess to make it simple, you know, the lower your tax bracket is, the harder it is for you to spend the time, right, necessarily to be with children, to pick up on certain behaviors. And the less likely you have access to resources, even though there's a ton of resources available. And you know, there's a history in this country of stigma, right? When you ask for help or you go to get help, seek help, you're labeled, you're tagged, you're dehumanized, you're put in a category that makes you not want to say, hey, I need help. Hey, this is what's going on with my child. So and it's coming from a legit place, right? So when we talk about how can we identify some of these signs and how can parents go out and seek help, you, even if you don't recognize the signs, the individuals at the schools will recognize the signs. And you can ask simple questions. How's he doing? Does he have friends? Is he involved in school activities? What does he do when he's in school? And you know, you'll get the depending on the kind of feedback you get, you move from there. And you can ask the schools, what do you recommend? Is there a local health, mental health you guys work with that you can referral for? But your school is your biggest ally.
But when does it get to the point where the child is showing signs, child or adult, showing signs where they are hurting themselves? That's beyond the school power. What do you do beyond
In
that?
terms of self-harm or
Self harm, not only self, but also others. That is, I think, a telltale sign when they are like adamant about hurting not only themselves, but others.
mhm. Yeah, so like kids, young kids, I would say maybe from toddler to probably like 5 and 6, they tend to hit themselves, bang their heads because they don't have language to express, right? And even though it's not normal, but it's expected that you are reacting physically to express yourself because you may not have the language to say, I am annoyed, I am upset, I am disappointed. And I found myself using those languages with my niece who would have tantrums at the smallest thing. And I said, okay, you're disappointed, you're sad, it made you sad. So helping kids, because that's also emotional intelligence, right? Helping kids use language that identifies their emotion, where we're not villainizing them and saying, oh, you can't be angry because we tend to be happy, angry, or sad. There's nothing in between, right? So kids, once you're past that 5, 6 years old and you're still banging your head, pinching yourself, cutting, then there might be some other issues going on.
Fair enough. Fair point. Fair point. Fair.
So there's a question. Knowledge is power. You mentioned video games
Mhm.
can cause anxiety. Can you highlight that a little more? I've continued to hear people still talk and disregard that fact. Are you able to point to a research study right now?
I don't have a research study on the top of my head, but I can give an example and they can go and research it. So a very popular game, Call of Duty. Call of Duty, we know, was designed for military training, military stimulus, because it arouses all your senses. The military didn't use it. They said no thanks. It's too violent. But
Mm.
it was put on the market and sold for children and everybody else to play. So when you're in that heightened state and you're holding a machine gun and your brain can't tell the difference between I'm actually experiencing this versus I'm not experiencing this, because your body still goes through that motion. So when
Mhm.
you're in that state of heightened anxiety, heightened fear,
Mhm.
it takes a while for your body to come down from that. So if you're doing that for 5 hours and you're going to sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning and you're expected to wake up, when does your body adjust, and all those chemicals that was released from you being in that heightened state, when does your body become balanced?
Mhm.
Another thing about video games and even the phones, right? They tell us, because now even iPhone will, if you put in a program, it'll shut down, it'll help you wind down. This light on these phones does something to us that keeps us from sleeping. They say that you're supposed to, according to research, you're supposed to wind down after 2 hours 2 hours before bed. So video games also create a sense of disconnection, right? You have kids who are on the headset. So there's this common denominator with kids who tend to play these video games with other individuals, that they suffer with depression.
Mm.
I've had several kids have trouble integrating back to school too, who didn't graduate, because this is what they did the last 2 years while
Mhm.
they were remote. So
You
it
know,
affects the brain.
Lynda, you just reminded me to send a message to my wife to tell the kids to make sure that they're off the video games. I literally just sent that message. I know I did it last night, and I got to remember to try to do it every day. They're off that video game thing, because at the end of the day, you're right. They don't wind down. There are a lot of things that they don't do, and they get angry.
Mhm.
The other thing that you touched on it a lot, and I lost track of the numbers that we were talking about when I asked Andre to put them up. Some of the points that you were making, right? And we don't touch on social anxiety, right? At least I don't know if we had. I just step away for a moment, but there's a couple components about social anxiety
Mhm.
for young people and adolescent, right?
Mhm.
And that one, depending on the age group, so it's something that they don't understand depth, right?
Yes.
And what we find a lot of times in the series and the cycles of life, young people commit the most violent crimes, right? Because the mental component, I believe, I don't know if this is one of the reasons or a major reason, but is watching violence and the lack of understanding of violence right, create an insensitivity to violence,
That's right.
right? And you know, do you find that within your studies and in your conversation with adolescents that some of these play a role, or you hear certain energy from our students? I sound like a kid. Certain energy, right? Hear certain energies from our young people around that topic.
So we know that the world completely changed in the last, I would say, even 10 years, right? We don't even have to go back 20 years. The things that we're exposed to is horrific. Even the shows that they put on TV, uh, what is put on these social media sites, and they sit and they watch TikTok videos and YouTube videos and whatever other video, and a lot of them are videos of people playing pranks, cruel pranks sometimes, doing things that's silly. You could type in fight videos, and like every single fight we've had in our school last year was videotaped. No one stops it.
Social media, yep.
No one stops it, but that is glorified. People get rewarded with followers, likes, going viral, and all that stuff that makes it okay.
Right,
So
right.
you do lose the sense of humanity when everything is done through this virtual platform. And you were talking about how they can't even have conversations with each other.
Promoting
It's just not there. And it's sad. It's just sad.
You know what I noticed? I actually had conversation with some young people who actually lost people they were very close to during the pandemic, and one child in particular who actually displayed mental health issues. He mentioned that my grandmother passed away. I was very close with my grandmother. She passed away,
Mhm.
and I don't have anyone else. So that's who I used to talk to. That's who I used to deal with, or whatever. So, how do you deal with the child who actually, not only a child, but just adults as well, who's dealing with grief, but don't know how to channel it and to deal with it because COVID took away the child, not the child, but took away the person that they care a lot or what the closest to, and it triggered something else.
Mhm.
How do you work with that? What do you do?
With children, it's hard for them to understand that this is just a normal part of life, an unfortunate part of life,
Mhm.
and we try to highlight memories that they can hold on to and not think about what won't be. Because if you think about what you've lost as opposed to what you did gain during that time, it can be depressing. And it's okay to mourn, because again, people don't like to cry, you don't like to feel sad. It's okay, because that's a process that's going to have to happen. Um, it's also something that doesn't have a timeline.
Right.
It's hard to expect someone to not cry or tear up when they speak about a loved one who's passed away. The goal is to help them reframe some of those feelings and think about the positive as opposed to the negative.
Let's talk about some of the people who are actually out there attacking people, in regards to, sometimes I get angry because I feel as though some people use mental health to say, hey, they have mental health issues in order to commit crimes. So that,
Yeah.
Is something, I don't know.
I
I don't,
mean, what
I
the
can't find the
city,
balance.
yeah, what the city is not talking about is, and we hear it, oh yeah, it's gang violence. Gang violence is up on the rise. So gang initiation, where you are given an assignment to just go and shoot someone. It doesn't matter who, right? You're given an assignment in order to prove yourself to do XYZ, XYZ. You know, at one point it used to be where it was gang on gang violence. Now it's innocent people who are being victimized, right? Because that shows that you're tough and you got heart, because you don't, it's easy for you to kill your enemy, right? It's easy for you to kill your rival, but hard because you don't, it's easy for you to kill your enemy, right? It's easy for you to, I'm hearing feedback. That's why I stopped.
That's fine. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So the violence, when you speak to young boys who feel like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna, they are hopeless because they don't think they're gonna make it to a certain age because of their community, you know. And when you speak to kids who feel obligated to be affiliated, because if you're not affiliated, you're being picked on. And if you're not affiliated, you could become a target. So those are issues that we really need to think about in our communities. And part of that is these kids are in the streets. Where are the parents?
Working.
Yeah. Well,
Some of them don't. Some of them don't have parents.
and some of them, their parents are home, but they're not paying close attention to them. So I want to, let's move along and the work of, do you believe that we have made enough progress in mental health, in the mental health sphere? If so, what progress have we made? If not, what are we doing that is impeding the progress? You know, actually I can answer that, and I'm going to say no. So I'm going to change that question and ask you simply, what are some of the progress that we have made, and where do you think that we need to go in order to help a lot of our, especially our young people? And I think that we have focused a lot in this conversation on young people, but I think I also wanted you to incorporate adults in the conversation, because some adults are they grew up with the mental health issue. It has somewhat shown its ugly head, and then it's diffused or turned aside even as an adult, right? So I want you to go across the gamut in the conversation.
So I think
and again, the question is about progress.
Yeah, we have made strides in this space. We have a long way to go, right? Because now it needs to be reflected in schools. It needs to be reflected in the community, how we incarcerate, how the police, you know, it just needs to be interweaved into every aspect of our society. So there's progress through knowledge, there's progress through support, right? There's hotlines now. Their insurance companies aren't reluctant to cover the service. So the fact that this movement has created laws and a space for us to be free to talk about mental health and to say, you know what, I have a cousin who has this, I have a sister who has that. It's the only way we'll be able to move past it. Now, what does it need to look like? So, you know, the schools are trying with doing things like restorative circles and emotional learning, emotional intelligence. But for me, ideally, how do you start your class? How do you start your day, right? And this is, I know all teachers are going to be like, oh, ain't I got time for that? I didn't show up to be a therapist. I showed up to be a teacher. So for me, if I were to be walking into a space with 30 humans in my space, I probably would start with a small exercise or process to get people to unwind, right? Because I don't know if you had breakfast. I don't know if you had to, what your process was to make it to school and how hard it was for you to come to school. So I would kind of find some kind of activity to do to help kids get grounded in this space so that you are open to learning. I think it's important for educators to build relationships with their kids, because sometimes, like Miss Bryant was referring to, they don't have anybody else. So it has to look different, right? In all aspects, how people respond to, well, not people, police, law enforcement respond to individuals who are having mental health crises, right? You know, someone who's off their meds. You know, we know that individuals who have severe psychotic disorders don't like taking their meds.
Correct. Yeah.
You know, you could get them institutionalized, you know, and it's a revolving door, and they have paranoia, and God forbid you run into somebody who's having a breakdown and they're paranoid. So we have to figure out ways to help keep some of these individuals on the right track to get medication, stay on medication, and live productive lives.
Should we have a track system for them?
You know, but there's so much trauma.
Yes.
So if you have somebody who is mentally ill and have children who are mentally ill, can you imagine what must go on in that house? And
so wait,
how do you
saying that a parent who's mentally ill sometimes might have a child who's also mentally ill?
Yeah. And I'm not even talking about the child who might be mentally ill, because that's the obvious. I'm talking about the children who aren't mentally ill, but have to live under this household with someone who is paranoid, someone who, so what does that look like? That look like violence, right? How many, within the last couple of months, we heard of mothers killing and hurting their kids. It looks like violence.
You know, there was something I was just thinking about in our question, in our line of question, and then we are not going to have enough time to touch on it. But a lot of these things lead. Let's go back. Actually, I do want to touch on this one. The one thing that I try to get to parents is, if you're violent and you're teaching your child violence, your child will be violent, because it's not what you say is what you do. So if you're violent, so I always say that to parents, like, you curse a lot. You curse, oh, I'm a grown person, I should be able to curse if I want to, or curse if, you know, who the blank explicitive of you talking to about cursing. I'm grown. And then when you go to school and you hear that child reflect what that parent is saying, and then you talk to the parent wonder why the child is if you physically hit the child for everything, what do you think the child's response is to other children when they say something? Because I like to tell children, people who use a lot of curse words are those with limited vocabulary.
Yes.
Right? And when a person cannot express themselves, they do one of two things. They get violent, either verbally, or they get violent physically. So which one of those? Oh, no, let's try again. So let's use your words to explain your actions. Why you laugh, John? That's not for you, Guyanese. Right?
Oh, gosh.
So your thoughts? Is she frozen?
Me or John?
You.
Me?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, look, what's the saying? There's a saying.
718-841-9980. But you have about 1 to 2 minutes, Stargirl.
Oh, what you plant is what you're gonna sow later. So if you're planting violence, abuse, verbal abuse, emotional abuse, because that's a thing too. You're gonna get that back. And you know what? Sometimes, not going back to what Miss Joanne was asking, even if you have children who aren't mentally ill, who didn't develop the same illness as the parent, those kids are dealing with the trauma of insecurity, right?
We're dealing in the education world. We're dealing with the trauma of children, with not only children but also adults. The after effect. We need therapy dealing with that. Seriously.
Because a teacher, it's funny. I argue with my friend who's actually on the call. She's a nurse, right? So I have a lot of friends who are nurses, right? And I argue and I say this all the time. She's always say, "Oh, nursing job is the hardest job. Nursing job is like, you have no idea the mental anguish that happens because one, a student is disrespectful to you, right? A student is very disrespectful to you. How do you respond to that? Look at what happened in Arizona, where that student came in and shot and killed the professor in Arizona. You have mass killings in schools all around the United States, all around the world, it's not, I don't want to compare, but the same level of mass shooting, mass killings don't happen. There's one this year where a doctor was killing 4 people that I'm aware of. There might have been more, but you have the mass killing that's happening in our society. What are we doing to address some of that mental health? Because a lot of our teachers and the colleagues, they're dying by suicide, and they drinking, they're doing this, they're walking away and all these things because, I hear people after. Teaching profession has one of the highest attrition rate in professional jobs. I think, if not the highest. I don't know the number, but I know we're pretty darn high.
Yeah. I mean, the guns, that's a whole other conversation, right? That's strategic. I don't want to get into my conspiracy theories, but that's a strategic thing.
Yeah. I want to thank you, Lynda, for joining us today on the Village Radio Talk Show. It's been a pleasure. Mental health, parents, do look out. Know that if you want your child not to be violent, if you want a child to be able to express themselves, you have to lead by example, by asking questions, by stating issues, and not making statements like, he's going to grow out of it, he's just a boy, he's just a girl. You need to stop making those statements if you want.
No more excuses. Right.
You can't. One of the things that we talk about is that you can't state that you were not given the information. What you're going to do with the information is where the change happens. So thank you so much for watching, sharing, viewing, and subscribing to our YouTube channel. Right here on Gospel JA 92.1 FM, on Facebook, on YouTube, on TuneIn Radio. We look forward to talking to you again next week, where we are dedicated to empowering the community to live a healthy, safe, and financially capable life through education, helping each one of us in realizing our dreams every day, at any age, any point, starting from today, where success is not just spoken, it is done. God bless each and every one of you. Let your light show shine. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
God
bless.
God bless.
Thank you. Thank you, Miss Simmone. Thank you, Miss Simmone. All right. Have a good evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.